Earth, the planet that we live on, home to nearly 10 billion people. But is it home to all of us? Some of us are not from here, and we know it. Maybe not consciously, but on a subconscious level, we know we don't belong here. So where did we come from? Which galaxy did we originate from? Who are our original people? We have to ask ourselves, are we from the Milky Way galaxy or from somewhere else? We are on a constant journey of searching where we belong and why we exist in the first place. But are the explanations from earthly religions going to answer these questions for us? So many people these days have questions of life and existence, but are left empty with only more questions after following some earthly belief structure for years. We also wonder, why are some people born with incredible talents and seemingly have an advantage over others intellectually, and some fall short? Do we reincarnate and learn through our existence, giving us an advantage in our next lifetimes? Or do we live only one lifetime and go to heaven like religion tells us? Some people believe we're in a simulation and our lives are being controlled by powerful beings. Some people believe that a creator deity presides over us and dictates every aspect of our lives. Or do we have control over our own lives completely, and we decide every aspect of our existence? We live on a planet that's shrouded in mystery with ancient structures that were built, but we have no definitive way of explaining how this was accomplished. Did other people from another planet come to Earth in the distant past and help our ancestors build these megalithic structures? Also, do ghosts exist, or are they figments of our wild imaginations? Have the hundreds of sightings of Bigfoot and other cryptids been fabrications of people that were seeking attention? Or have they been here with us all of this time? We also have to ask the question about our genetics and why we are so barbaric and warlike. Were we genetically manipulated by other human beings to be predisposed to barbaric tendencies? Have other humans and people from the great expanse of the cosmos been coming here for millions of years, and people are only denying this fact? I'm going to delve into these things: reincarnation, spirituality, existence, UFO encounters, the paranormal, science, genetics, and the future on livestream, and discuss with you, the listeners, and try to figure out the truth of all these mysteries. And maybe, just maybe, we'll find out together that we are all not from Earth.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight, Sunday night, April 19th, on this 17th episode. Modern day ufologists and the scam they run on the easily manipulated. A lot to talk about tonight. Um, I know a lot of you guys, you kind of look up to these people. They, they're kind of admirable. They're on podcasts, they do YouTube videos, they do lectures and all this kind of stuff. But the majority of them are misinformation specialists, intelligence operatives. But before I want to go into that, I wanted to go into a couple of updates on certain things. What's happening in the news? It turns out the last episode I was talking about how Donald Trump is manipulating with the stock market. He's up to it yet again. Unbelievable. This man has absolutely no shame whatsoever. Um, that's exactly what he's doing. He's he's manipulating with it. Every single week. Some good news comes out. Stock market goes up. Prices go down. The Dow goes up. The S&P 500 goes up, and you know, people that are invested in it, they make some decent money off of it. They make millions and millions of dollars. that's part of it, what it's about. The other part of it is smoke and mirrors, misinformation on what's actually going on beneath the surface. So there's a whole lot of moving parts to this, and I can tell you right now, he is not the mastermind of it. Donald Trump is not a mastermind of anything. He can't even control his own sphere with his diet and nutrition. Um, and like I've said on previous episodes, I'm pretty convinced that he has a double. I'm not sure which, if it's actually him or if it's actually his double that's making public appearances and all that. But you never know. Only if you're on the inside. I'm not on the inside, so I can't tell you for certain. But I'm 100% certain that he does have a double. So I don't know which one is actually making these public statements to the media and all that. But there's a whole lot of stuff going on underneath it, as it's always linked to the UFO thing. It always circles back around to it. Um, you have to see that. So he says he wrote a tweet or a message on his Truth Social. He says, "No more Mr. Nice Guy." He said that Iran violated the ceasefire agreement. The only reason why they violated it, because Israel violated it. That's why. Um, Benjamin Netanyahu is bent on destroying the peoples of Palestine, Iran, Syria, Lebanon, anyone of the Arabic nature. They want to take full control over that area. That's what they want. Because if you look on a map, only the tiniest portion in the Middle East is the country of Israel. So what they want control over all that oil. They want control over, Mesopotamia, pretty much, because that's old Mesopotamia right there, and that was home to the second original peoples. So the first original peoples that developed out the primordial pools was the Native Americans in the Yellowstone area, and then the second was the Jewish Gypsy people in Egypt, and then the Mesopotamian Sumerians. And all that nonsense about like Anunnaki and all that, that's just all made up. They did encounter some peoples um, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. The Sumerians, they encountered some peoples from other planets, but they didn't, stick around that long. They didn't pretend to be gods or goddesses, and they left. So stories were made up. They were sort of built into their culture, into they put it into the cuneiform, and then thousands of years later, people uncovered that. Zachariah Stitchin, he tried to translate the cuneiform, but he couldn't, connect everything. He couldn't connect all the dots. He couldn't accurately translate everything that was in the cuneiform. So he just made stuff up and, made up this Planet X and Nibiru and all that kind of nonsense. And the Anunnaki, that's just, his misinterpretation of things. He purposely did that. Zachariah Stitchin was actually a Jesuit, so he was working for the Catholic Church at that time, and he purposely put out, uh, you know, misinformation and facts that weren't true about that. So, but yeah, the Sumerians, the Mesopotamian people, they've had control over that whole area for the longest time. They were originally from there, and they were the larger group of peoples there. So all this fighting, guys, goes back thousands upon thousands of years. It is going to end soon, but it's not going to end the way that everyone thinks it's going to end. So all that fighting will end eventually, and it's been going on for a very, very long time. But all right, so he says no more Mr. Nice Guy. I hate to say it. Um, People call him, Taco. Trump always chickens out. That's what that means. In case you didn't know what that means, I don't think that he's going to chicken out this time. I really think that things are going to escalate now. Coming this week, the escalation is going to go up because Benjamin Netanyahu is infuriated by Trump trying to pull out of that deal. So the firing is going to continue to, you know, go in both ways. Iran has to defend themselves. Israel, they're the aggressors, and the United States, they're still there. So if the war is over, like he claims, then why are there still warships and soldiers over there? If he was a man of his word, he would have told the soldiers to come back home, but he didn't do that, did he? They're still over there. They're still posted up, and they're still ready to go. So that is unfortunately going to escalate out of control. And everything I've been saying about World War III, it's already been started. Canada is, training their military, so they know something's coming. Also, in Germany, they're doing drills, evacuation drills, so they know World War is coming. Other countries are doing evacuation drills also. Vladimir Putin is setting up his soldiers around the borders, reinforcing that. China is making new threats, and they are directly involved with the policing in the Strait of Hormuz. So I wanted to show you guys a little clip. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you're just gonna have to listen to the commentary on this. You'll have to try to hear what they're saying because this is Iranian speaking English. Let me put that up.
Iranian Stepan Navy calling you on channel 16. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. We will open.
Go ahead.
The Iranian Stepan Navy calling you on channel 16. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. We will open it by the order of our leader Imam Khamenei, not by the tweets of some idiots. If you want to pass through the strait, you must ask permission from Iranian Stepan Navy. All vessels that have a connection with our enemies will be targeted if they try to pass the Strait of Hormuz out.
Yeah, so if you couldn't understand that, that is current. That is from earlier today, as far as I know. That they've got it closed up is because they haven't accepted, Trump and his administration's deal about giving up the uranium, enriched uranium, which they have every right to hold on to it. But he keeps on going around saying that they're going to go over there and collect it, and that's not going to happen. They're not going to let that happen. They know that World War III has already started because of him and Benjamin Netanyahu, and they're not going to give it up. They've already been trying to further create warheads to defend themselves, which I don't agree with war at all. I don't want anyone to think that I'm a proponent for some sort of like world war. I'm not at all. I think that everyone should, um, denuclearize. They should just break down all nuclear weapons and come to some sort of like peaceful agreement. Um, but this provocation has been going on for a long time. It's been going on for decades. So um, they're not going to give it up. It's not going to happen. They're going to have to go in there and take it. And if you hit this enriched uranium, if they manage to hit America or Israel manages to hit it, there will be nuclear fallout. The dust and all that will kill millions upon millions of people. So it's like roughly, the census is kind of wrong. The census says like 11 to 14 million people in Iran. I think that's a lot more. I think it's like to 23 to 25 million minimum. Could be possibly 30 million. So millions and millions of people are going to die from radiation poisoning. Also, guess what? The soldiers that are there, American and Israeli soldiers, are going to die from radiation sickness. So this is just absolute stupidity. This is just complete and utter nonsense. I just can't believe this. But yeah, it's escalated, guys. It's not going to de-escalate anytime soon. these people were bent on world war. They want it. They're going to get it. So, and unfortunately, I don't believe that any other human beings are going to step in until things get like seriously out of control. So, um, but hopefully I'll be right about that. Hopefully, I mean, in prophecies, 3/4 of the planet is destroyed by this. I really hope that they don't let it get that far. I think that Earth humanity will learn their lesson, but they will have to take the negative individuals off of Earth, and they will have to put them on some sort of prison planet or terraform Mars or create some sort of space prison. That's what I would do. I can tell you right now, if I had the technology, that's what I would do. I would create a space prison that would stay in the system. Um, and I would put like hundreds and hundreds of millions of people on there that are, complicit in the all this world war and all this negativity and nonsense, murderers, rapists, child molesters, all of them. I would put them right up in there, and just out of sight, out of mind. And then it would be just the regular people. But you would also have to, appoint leaders of the civilization. You would have to like restructure the governments all around the world and unite the Earth into one civilization in a positive way. I'm not talking about any like new world order nonsense. That's just like propaganda and all that. But there is a way of uniting the entire planet in a very positive way, and that needs to be done. That's going to happen in the future anyway. There is no stopping that. It's inevitably going to happen in a positive way. I don't understand these people that always circle back around to this new world order nonsense. That's the way the civilizations are supposed to be. You're supposed to be one people. You're supposed to be united. You're not supposed to be like, divided into countries and states and territories and provinces and all that nonsense. That's not the way that it works. But, people are still unintelligent and they don't think on a very logical, reasonable, and positive way like I do. But uh, you know, people are evolving slowly but surely. But so all right, you got another thing going on. All this news about Cash Patel that he's showing up to work drunk, and they had to like you know forcibly kick down his door because he was like passed out drunk. That's obviously true because there was a video of him, partying with the United States Olympians. So he's trying to like sue the news outlet that put that information out. He's never going to get anywhere with that case because there's literally all the proof. You have witnesses saying that he is a drunk. He shows up to work drunk. He slurs his words. He doesn't even know where he's at half the time. He's probably end up getting fired. So plus, it's a good thing for Trump if he fires him because he knows a lot, and then put somebody in there that will, continue to withhold the Epstein files. So that's like a win-win for him. But also another thing, these Representative Luna, which I'm not sure about her. I'm really not sure about her. It seems on the surface like she wants to do the right thing, and she's like a big proponent for UFO disclosure, which is nice. It's nice. It's very cute idea, but uh, I don't know if she's on the inside. She says that she's friends with Pete Hegseth, which is very sketchy and questionable. Um, so yeah, I don't know. She's playing a certain angle. She's probably working both sides. Probably it's likely. That's my assessment of it. She's working both sides, but yeah, she's really pissed off that they're not releasing these 46 UFO videos. They're already well past the deadline, like days past the deadline, and apparently it's not going to happen. Or they keep on saying that it is going to happen, but guys, I've been saying this on multiple episodes. Don't count on it. Don't. The thing is, if they release anything of actual incriminating nature about what they're developing and it is gonna like have a detrimental effect on religion, and it's all tied together. They want to keep this religious delusion going. They want people to keep on donating money to the Catholic Church and Christian churches and Mormon churches and all that, and donating taxes to Israel, and disclosing anything, you know, important about UFOs, like the secret facilities underneath Wright Patterson Air Force Base and underneath Area 51 and Dugway and all that. It's not going to benefit any of them. And then more questions are going to be asked. So I would say that it's highly likely that they do not release anything. Maybe some AI generated stuff, maybe a couple of them, not all 46 that she's demanding. I'm not going to go into the list of them, um, which I don't know how many of them are credible, but yeah, keep on wishing, Luna. Keep on wishing for that. If she actually wants it. So, like, I honestly, I don't know. I don't know about her. She's very, very questionable. On the surface, it seems like she wants, disclosure for the American people, but she's high up in the government, so she's probably playing this. I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt it at all. But I'm not accusing her of anything. But who knows? All right. So we are officially at the beginning of a civil war. I'm going to make that claim. Maybe people will disagree. Maybe you will agree. Doesn't really matter. That's my opinion on the facts, because you have all these attempts on Sam Altman, multiple attempts on his life, people firing bullets at his house, throwing Molotov cocktails, and a whole lot of other people that are involved with AI and data centers. People are even like posting like wanted pictures, certain places of CEOs. So they're trying to do like something like Luigi Mangione did. Yep, and burning down buildings like the one that was burned in Ontario, California, which I've been there many times. When I drove trucks, I went out to Ontario. That's like an industrial area for trucks. Yeah, the guy that did it, I forget his name. He has like a strange name, but um, he didn't really do anybody a favor. That's my opinion on that. Yeah, sometimes you need to rebel, but he was all pissed off because he wasn't getting paid enough. But what happened to everybody else that works there? Now they're out of a job. Now they're struggling. He didn't even take a second to think about his coworkers. Now, what are they going to do for work now that this Kimberly Clark warehouse is burnt down? Where are they going to work? Um, there are other Kimberly Clark warehouses within that area. If you guys don't know where Ontario, California is, it's pretty close to, it's right there in Los Angeles. So there are other warehouses, but they say the estimated damage is like over $200 million. So the amount of money they're going to spend on repairs, that's going to hurt the people that actually need the money. So what he did, he actually hurt his coworkers. There are certain ways of doing things, and there's certain ways of not doing things, and I don't agree with that. There's also another woman that got fired from a winery. She like even she destroyed like $2.5 million worth of wine because she got fired. I don't know the details of why she got fired, but yeah, these people are lashing out, guys. We are officially in a civil war. Protests are continuing, which it should, but I don't think it should get to that level where people were burning down buildings and things like that. But it has happened in the past. Boston Tea Party, if you guys remember that from school, the Boston Tea Party accomplished a lot. I guess it's the way that you think. It, does it actually do something? Doing like this, sort of like economic corporate terrorism, or does it not accomplish things in a short period? Maybe as long as nobody gets hurt, it's morally okay, but I wouldn't do things that way. So he really didn't take any regard in for his coworkers, and he kind of ruined their lives. And now he's, facing a whole lot of prison time. But all right, the whole topic. I already know a lot of people are going to disagree with this. I already know, but that's fine. Everything that I talk about is controversial and whatever. It needs to be talked about. So this has nothing to do with me trying to insert myself. I'm just trying to provide the facts for you guys. I want everyone to think for themselves. Even if you don't listen to me, at least take the stuff into consideration. This is just the facts. It has nothing to do with me having any personal vendetta against certain ufologists or anything like that. It's just, guys, you cannot be misguided, and a lot of these people are, purposely misguiding people. So, one of the people we wanted to talk about is Stephen Greer. What a guy, huh? Well, you guys know who that is, the UFO disclosure guy. He wears glasses. He's got all those scars on his face from, like acne when he was younger. So he was born in 1955 in Charlotte, North Carolina. All right, so August 30th, 1979, in Haifa, Israel. He marries his wife, Emily Kramer. Already, that should throw up red flags for you. What is someone that was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, or whatever, going over to Israel to marry somebody? So he spent a lot of time over there. He was employed. This is a fact. This is actual fact. He was employed by the High World Center in Israel, and they are connected to the Rockefellers. They're also a place where Israel intelligence agents are trained. That is an actual fact. There have been dozens and dozens of Israeli intelligence operatives that have been trained by the High World Center. And they were even executed over in Iran. So the Iranians caught them trying to, stir up the crowd during protests, all those sorts of things that George Soros does, which he incites crowds and things like this. So Stephen Greer is an Israeli asset. He's an Israeli American intelligence asset. That's a fact. All right, so he founded the Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, CSETI. I know a lot of you have heard that if you're into, UFOs and all that. So that's his company. And he also did the Disclosure Project, which he started in the 90s. It was like 1993 or something like that. 1998. And in 1989, he got his supposed medical license, which is very, very sketchy. Very sketchy. A lot of people claim that he doesn't actually have a medical license. He just started calling himself Dr. Stephen Greer with a PhD at the end of it. So he says he's licensed in emergency room physician, but he's never performed a surgery before, ever. He didn't do his internship anywhere. He didn't do his residency anywhere. And trust me, I'm familiar with the whole medical procedure. Helped my ex-wife get through nursing school, so I know a lot about that. He didn't do any of it. It's all a blur, and it's all mystery. No one knew who he was. He didn't publish any papers. He wasn't in any sort of peer reviews or anything whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, in 1998, he retires, and he starts the Disclosure Project. So, all right. So the CSETI confirms 3,000 UFO sightings and 4,000 landing traces, which is like that sort of like where the UFOs land, like, crop circles and where the landing gear. Supposedly, they have evidence of this 4,000 landing traces, which is incredibly sketchy. Yeah, I wouldn't even say that I've seen 4,000. I've seen thousands of UFOs, but I'm not going to say 4,000. And my sightings are legitimate, and I don't have to record them because I know that they were real. I've seen all kinds of stuff, but I don't have any pictures or proof because it's just normal. It's normal to me. But these people apparently they love to make money off this kind of stuff. So yeah, actually, in 1993, he did found the Disclosure Project. Mixed that up when I wrote it down, so it was 1993. All right. On this on this C Study website, his website. All right, so you have different options. You can pay per month, so it's there's the top tier program that you can pay for a month. A subscription is $75 per month for the ambassador program, and also he does like for the ambassador program you get like 2 hours of a Zoom call, which doesn't even involve him. It says somebody else from CSETI, so you don't even get to speak to Stephen Greer. How nice, huh? So you're making $75 per month, on gullible people. That's so you multiply that by, let's see, do some math here. $75 per month. Let's say if he has like 10,000 subscribers to those. Yeah, so $750,000 per month. Nice, huh? That's just assuming that there's about like 10,000 people that are subscribing. So then you multiply that times 12 times a year, you're making $9 million a year just on subscriptions. That's not counting the other stuff that he does. So he has something called CE5 where you go out to the middle somewhere in Arizona. He's got another one coming up in Sedona, Arizona. And starting off, it's like $2,500 to $3,500 for one night. And supposedly he, makes contact with UFOs, and you get to see them and videotape them. And they come down. And he makes all this big deal about it, like he's making telepathic contact with them. That's just per person, $2,500 to $3,500 per person. So he doesn't do like large groups. There's like groups of 50 people. Let's do the math on that too. 50 times, let's say the maximum $3,500. Yeah, for one night, $175,000. That's for a group of 50 people. Unbelievable. That's more than I make in a year. So yeah, he's making a whole lot of money off that. And this CSETI program. Also, they're getting, donations and stuff like that. They accept donations. And who knows how much money per year they make. But all right, so let me see. I wrote down his net worth. All right, his net worth is well over $20 million. That's going to tell you something. And he's made all that through like the documentaries and CSETI organization plus the CE5 outings and all that. So it's well over $20 million. Also, you have somebody else called Luis Elizondo. He's worth over $22 million, and he's connected to the CIA and the NSA and all that. He's another so-called ufologist, which he just spreads nonsense and misinformation. MUFON itself, as of today, it is worth well over $11 million. That's according to the internet, but they also accept donations, which they probably don't claim all that. So you got all these people out here making money off of it, guys. That's a clear indication that that they're being dishonest about it. If they're making millions and millions of dollars, yeah, something's fishy there. Don't give away your hard-earned money to these people because that's all they care about. Plus, Stephen Greer's ties to Israel. He's an Israeli American intelligence officer. So He's a misinformation specialist and intelligence asset for Israel. That's what he is. All right, so I was watching something they did in like the year 2023, so 3 years ago. He did a conference, and there was a Marine talking. All right, this Marine, he was with 5 others. He said there was a total of 6 of them, himself and 5 others, and they were talking about a octagonal ship that came down, and Americans came out of it. Americans were in black uniforms, and they took their weapons from them, and they were loading up dead bodies onto the ship. They even went ahead and said they're not interested in the drugs because these Marines, they were trying to intercept like illegal drugs, and they said they were only interested in the dead bodies for cannibalism. So that's what it was all about. When that guy was speaking, when the soldier was speaking, he was like sweating. He was really really nervous about it. He thought that they were going to come and confiscate the drugs. He thought that they were going to execute him. He didn't say how many there were. There could have been 10 of them or something like that, but he didn't actually say the number of soldiers that were there. But he said that the bottom of the octagonal ship lowered down, and then they came out and they were loading dead bodies onto it and taking them somewhere. They had American accents, and they were all the way in the South East Asian Pacific where they were. And he didn't go into detail where they were either, which I find odd. But he did look believable, and that's what Stephen Greer does. He gets people that are telling the truth because he wants to keep an eye on them. That's what it's about. So he does get like credible witnesses from the military through his connections. He finds them somehow. He always ends up finding them, and they tell their stories, and he keeps track of them. That's how they keep track of these people that have actually experienced UFO phenomenon, but mostly when it comes to reverse engineered craft, not otherworldly craft. So this Marine looks shaken up, and he knew something because they were loading dead bodies onto a UFO, and the thing just shot off. He didn't know where it went after that. So, guys, that's what it's all about. They don't care about drugs. They don't care about anything else. They just care about like human test subjects to do experimentation on children, women, and men. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to combine otherworldly human beings with Earth human beings physiology, trying to create really, really strong, tall super soldiers. That's what they're doing. They have a super soldier project, and they're trying to extend their lives out, and make themselves immortal. That's what it's all about. And they couldn't care less about people, children, women, or men. And apparently, this Marine and his friends, they encountered that. They encountered an operation. They stumbled across it, and surprisingly, they didn't end up killing them. That's what kind of shocked me, that they walked out of it alive. But Stephen Greer got him up to make a speech, and now they got him tagged. They've had him tagged for a long time, so they're following him and the other 5 around. So yeah, this kind of thing happens all the time. That's what he does. That's what Stephen Greer does. That's what most of them do. They're trained to do that. So also this Luis Elizondo guy, he has ties to the government, way, way up there. Chris Bledsoe, I tried to look into his net worth. I could not find it. I really, really looked, and I couldn't find it. I looked for a few hours. I tried to find it, but I couldn't. There's really nothing on him. He is a construction mogul, Chris Bledsoe, the one that claims that he was communicated by a lady. But also, I did find a link between him and Israel yet again. So when he was a child, he went up to New York, and he partook in a Jewish bar mitzvah. and he met very, very high ups in the Israeli government. Then this was years and years ago. This was like 30 years ago. So I guess he was groomed since then to be a intelligence asset. So that Chris Bledsoe is kind of a mystery. There's really nothing on him. Honestly, I can't find anything on the man, but I can tell you what, it doesn't smell right. That's my opinion. Um, yeah, I don't believe any of that nonsense they says about this lady that contacted him, and it seems like nothing that he said was going to happen has actually happened, other than the war with Israel and Iran. That's been going on for decades anyway. I mean, anybody could have literally predicted that. Anybody can. It's so easy to predict something like that. But yeah, in my opinion, he's definitely a government agent in a plant. He has connections in the CIA also. So yeah. So another person is Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar, in my opinion, he did work for a year. That's it. He worked for a year at Area 51, and the man's going around right now talking like he's some kind of like expert at UFO technology. No, he isn't. It takes longer than a year to figure out this element 115 and all that stuff he's talking about. That was um, the element that like powered Zeta Reticuli ship. It wasn't even the Zeta Reticuli themselves; it was their bioorganic androids, and nobody could figure out how that stuff works. Um, it is just like an additional power source. Their ships run off of electrons, and nobody can figure that out. They most definitely run off electrons. It's just an additional power source in case something happens to the electron drive. So without telling too many secrets to the anyone listening, but that's what it is. It's a non-toxic element. And Honestly, I really think that it's significant. People should just be focusing on anti-gravity. And Bob Lazar is going around all these theories and stuff like that. The thing is, he ignores um, the spiritual aspect of it. You can't ignore that. You guys ever notice like all these people, they just want to talk about like videos and photographs of ships in the sky. Guys, that's the least important part of all of it. You have to think like, where are they coming from? Which galaxy are they coming from? They coming from possibly another universe? Are they coming from the other side of the universe? What is their culture like? What is their society like? What do they actually look like? What do they believe in? Nobody's asking those questions. They're just focusing on lights in the sky and all that. That's the least important part of it. I can guarantee you that they don't believe in the same religious delusional nonsense that we do. So another thing I wanted to point out about Bob Lazar is the ship that he worked on. He even did an interview. I forget. I forget like the guy's name. He did a podcast, and the guy showed him pictures of Billy Myers photographs that he took, and he said, "Yeah, that looks exactly like the sports model that I was working on." He worked on a couple models, and he saw the relation to it. So what that is they created a ship that looked like the ones that Billy Meyer took in 1970s, and Billy Meyer even took photographs in the 1960s with Aske's ship, because the second contact was Aske from the Dollar Universe. So she and some of the other people, it wasn't just her ship; it was others too that were there. I think it was her friend Nira and a couple others were there, and they were doing demonstrations so Billy could take pictures. This was back in the 60s. You can't fake that kind of stuff. It's literally impossible. And he published these things too, and also he published like prophecies and stuff like that. So yeah, they created the design after what he uh, what he took photographs in the 70s. That's very, very easy to do, and you just create the outer hull. It's the engine component that's difficult. The anti-gravity drive. So that's what Bob Lazar worked on, because you got to think about it, he worked on that in 1988 to 89. And this took place in 1975 with Billy Meyer. So that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to like discredit him, and they were trying to copy Play Orange ships. That's my, intelligent conclusion, because all the facts are there for it. So that's what they were doing. So yeah, that just everything circles back around to Billy Edward Albert Meyer. He is the official like father of UFO contacts, and people will have their opinion about him. They'll say that he's a fraud, that he's making it all up. They'll say that he's been disproven. No, he hasn't. He hasn't been discredited yet. He still hasn't. His photographs haven't. People have not discovered that his photographs were doctored any bit. They haven't discovered any models or anything like that. There was one model that he created with help. He created this model with help just to see if he can like reproduce it. But he did that with people witnessing. That's when like Lee and Britt elders were there. So yeah, there's no proof that his photographs were like models on a string. So he is telling the truth, and that's not even the most important part about Edward Albert Meyer, Billy Meyer's contacts. The most important part is the spiritual teaching. That's the most significant part about it, because that's the part that you can prove. You can prove that through meditation that he's telling the truth. Experience your own experiences through the meditative state. You see the colors blue, green, yellow, and red, and you're in your subconscious. That can actually be proven by yourself, and everything else he talks about. Like the length of time that reincarnate, previous lifetimes, spirit forms, part pieces of creation, all of it. This is the absolute most important part, in my opinion. And so he's telling the truth. The figure organization is telling the truth. Michael Horn is telling the truth about all this, but they get a whole lot of flack from the UFO community. Everyone wants to say that, they're lying about it, but I can tell you they're not lying about it, because I've had my own experiences. So I know definitively that he is telling the truth, and he is the singular, father of ufology. He was the first one to come out with this. Yeah, Betty and Barney Hill did have an experience in 1961, but Billy Meyer was having contacts when he was 5 years old, and he was already writing papers about this stuff, and there's proof of it. So the thing about it, Michael Horn likes to focus on the prophecy aspect of it. I don't think that's the most important part of it. I can see why he does that. He has to try to make like scientific connections to what he said decades ago and then what's actually transpiring now, which certain things have changed, but I don't think that's the most important part. I think the spiritual aspect, the spirit teaching, is the absolute most significant part, and it's only going to be in the future when people realize that he was telling the truth about it. The same thing with me. I don't expect that like millions and millions of people around the world are going to accept that I'm telling the truth about all this, and then I've come to logical, reasonable, factual conclusions about all these things. But pretty much to sum it up, guys, just if people are charging so much money for these outings, and they have questionable past, they have connections in intelligence agencies, especially with Israel, America. They're probably lying about it. I mean, they've got some sort of scheme that they're doing. They're trying to make millions and millions of dollars, and people eat it up. So my advice is do your homework on these people. No one ever bothers to do that, really. Only a couple people have done their homework on Stephen Greer, but I'm pretty convinced that Chris Bledsoe is a liar also. So I'm just gonna go on a limb and say that he is. And plus his message is so unbelievably vague is ridiculous. But yeah, all these modern day ufologists, they love the attention. They love it. They'll do anything for it. Whenever they start to become insignificant, they'll come out with something, and they'll be back on top again. So that seems to be like the cycle that we're in. I'm not too sure about if the Pentagon is going to disclose anything on these videos. I would say that that's highly, highly unlikely. So don't count on it. Don't count on any sort of government disclosure, guys. It's probably not going to happen, because this is all about becoming immortal, doing tests on innocent children, women, and men, indiscriminately, whenever, however they choose, underneath these secret underground facilities, advancing their physiology and trying to live forever so they can rule forever. That's what they want, and it's unbelievable how many people they have complicit in this. It just makes me sick to my stomach. All these, soldiers and things like this, and a lot of them did serve in the military. That's the thing. Like they're like retired, or they just quit and decided to work for these private corporations. They're military trained, and they're so easily manipulated and involved in this sick stuff. If any of you listen to this, just have a heart and just quit. How can you sit there and like abduct children, women, and men and bring them to these secret facilities so they can just study them and do whatever they want? Guys, it's not the aliens that are doing these experiments, these horrifying experiments. It's Earth humans. That's what it all comes down to, and they're trying to mislead people, um, thinking that aliens are demons and they're sent by the devil and all that. No, they're not. Earth humans are the devils. They're the ones that are evil. It's not other human beings, because if they wanted to, harm us, then they would. I do have my, disagreement with the Zeta Reticuli, how they abduct people, but their experiments aren't as horrifying as what's going on Earth, and it's just sickening. It's just absolutely disgusting. I don't even know what to say about that. All these people are going to be feeling absolutely horrible about this in their next lifetimes. It needs to stop, and it is going to stop soon. So all this that they're trying to achieve and they're trying to accomplish through all this negativity is all going to be over with. It never lasts forever, um, and they are going to forever regret every decision that they make. So if you ever get invited into one of these secret projects, guys, please do not be like excited about this. It's not anything to be excited about. I promise. It's sickening, and just avoid it. Just be a regular person. There's nothing wrong with being a regular person. At least you can say that you didn't compromise yourself. So, and all these fake ufologists out there, they're deteriorating. You can see it. You can see it on their faces. They're like deteriorating from the inside out. That's what happens when you lie all the time. When you lie, you manipulate, you use people, you try to take their money from them, you scam them. Man, this is just a whole world built around scammers and negative individuals. How did I get here? I question this every single minute of every hour. I have no idea how I ended up with a world like this, but I'm just gonna endure it. We all have to endure all of this, and please use common sense out there. Do the fact checking, do the research, and figure this stuff out. And please do not throw your hard earned money into any of these, frauds and scammers and things like this, guys. Come on. We work too hard for the money that we have already, and everything's coming to a pinnacle point. It is heading in that direction. There's nothing that anybody could do to stop it. I mean, I really hate to say it, but I think that I'm right about all this, and I wish that I wasn't. But maybe when it gets to a certain point or whatever, the Federation of Light will have to step in and do something. But it's going to take for them to make themselves known. There's no way they can do it in secret. So they should have done it 20 years ago. But if you end up listening to this, Quetzal, the two of you and others should have done this more than 20 years ago, and we wouldn't be in this position that we are now. But you didn't want to do it, so everyone, yeah, it all comes full circle back to Billy, Edward Albert Meyer, the one person that the majority of the planet thinks that he's a liar and a fraud. Anyone who does know about him, guys, I promise you, he's telling the truth about all this. Um, and it's not going to be right now until people realize that. But he's a good man. He's done a lot of good things, and he has a good message. He has a positive message, so I support that. I support anyone with a positive message. Nothing that he says is negative. And you got to also think about this: none of these ufologists ever talk about anything of a spiritual nature. They always talk about some nonsense, some religious delusional nonsense, Christ and God and demons and all this. Billy doesn't talk about that. He talks about things that are neutral, reincarnation, living other lives, positive future, hundreds of years from now, Earth humanity getting off and exploring space. Every single thing that man talks about is positive. And you just have to, look at everything. And what I keep on hearing over and over again, people making their opinion and they don't even know anything about him. I would say that I'm one of the most knowledgeable people on the planet, other than the core group in the figure organization. I know so much about him. Excuse me, and the message and the context and all that. And I can make my own opinion about things, but you have all these people going around. They don't know anything about him. They haven't read, um, delved into it. Bob Lazar didn't even delve into the contact notes, and he's already making his opinion about it. Um, Saying that he doesn't really believe that he's had contacts after the 70s and all that. Yeah, he has. He's had contacts up until probably maybe even today, maybe even tonight. He's having a contact because I keep on seeing the ship outside every time I do a broadcast. So someone's listening. So there's at least like one or two ships that watch whenever I do a live stream, but I don't know who they are. They could be Playar. I don't know, but yeah, he may be having a contact right now. Right now it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, in Hinterschmid, Rudy, Switzerland. Maybe here in a few hours he'll be having a contact because he sleeps at night. So, but guys, keep your negative opinions to yourself. Please, please do all the research about this stuff. I do extensive research. I've been doing this for like over 17 years. So if anyone out there claims that I don't do research, I've been in this for like over 17 years. So you can kiss my butt. I know the facts, and I've come to logical, factual, reasonable conclusions, and through my own experience also. So when I tell you these people, the majority of them are frauds, they are. And there's all the proof there. You just have to look into it. So I just hate to see anybody swindled out of their money, or devoting your time and your effort to someone that doesn't have positive intentions. So look into the contact notes. Go to figu.org, futurehumankind.co/UK, Michael Horn's website, theyfly.com. And he's got a blog on there also. And actually, he started a podcast too. I didn't realize that. I haven't watched any of his episodes, but I don't know how many episodes he's done. But he's got something on Spotify though. Check it out if you want. Subscribe to him. Listen to what he has to say. Listen from the source. Don't get it from me. Listen from the people who are actually involved. I'm not involved with the FIGA organization, but I do support them. Um, and I hate the fact that so many people call him a liar, because he's not, and they're not liars. So, but you're gonna have to figure that out for yourself. The spirit teaching is the truth, and teaching of reincarnation is so provocative. It's just like, I don't understand why everyone has such a hard time dealing with it, because that's the most logical explanation for everything. We do live other lifetimes. It explains literally everything in existence, and it's so hard for people to understand. But maybe I'll reach some more people. Maybe I'll guide people to Billy and the Figo organization. Who knows? But I'm just doing my thing, and we can continue doing it. And let's hope for a positive outcome for this. But the only way that things are going to get resolved in this world is if the negative individuals, guys, they are forcibly removed. I hate to say it. It looks like we need to have a worldwide rebellion to end this nonsense, and the facts need to come out. The proof, the evidence needs to come out about these people. There's no other way to take them out of power. Because if we sit back and we wait for them to, pass of whatever disease, virus, degenerative disorder, old age, it's going to take decades. And there's so many people involved in all this. That's what's really, really sad and sickening. But they made their choices. You got to make yours. Please, please make the right choice and stand strong, stand your ground, stand for anything positive. Avoid anything of a hateful nature. That's my advice. Always stick to something that is incredibly positive, positive message, and your life will be a whole lot simpler. Keep your life simple. That's how it always has been. So, yeah, I guess was it planning on doing an episode tonight? Didn't have to work apparently. Boss told me he didn't have to work, so decided to do a podcast episode. I am going to try to finish up that documentary I was talking about the night before last night. It is going to be pretty good, but it's proven to be a little bit more difficult to get the right videos on there. But it's going to be a very emotional documentary, very, very emotional. I've already cried about certain things, and I hope everyone out there likes it. When I do put it out, I'll put it on the Reddit community. We are all not from Earth. I will put it up on my website too. We are all not from Earth.com. And of course on Patreon. We are all not from Earth podcast on Patreon. But I'm not sure what the next episode is going to be. But I'll figure it out this week. So much to talk about. Who knows? I guess we'll see if things escalate the way that I'm kind of predicting. I think that they will. I think that the taco man, Trump always chickens out. That's what that stands for. I don't think that he's going to chicken out this time, though. But let's hope for the most positive future. Guys, we are living in the absolute worst time that we could possibly be living in. And it's just, I'm just ready for it all to be over with. I know a lot of people are. What it's going to take is going to take for a lot more people to get rid of their hateful nature. We're going to have to be considerate of each other. That's the start. That's the very, very start of all of it. We have to let go of hate, prejudice, racism, preconceived notions, and we have to let go of religious delusional mentality. We have to let go of all that nonsense. It doesn't serve a purpose in life. And that's been the problem all along, hasn't it? You have religion against religion fighting each other. And for the life of me, people just cannot seem to accept that. And they want to support either side. Don't support either side. Support a positive future. And that's the best, side that you can support. Don't be a part of either side, because that's what they want. They want to divide the world. So don't fall into their trap. Be like me. Be neutral, positive about things, and your life will be a whole lot simpler. And you will sit back and you will observe everything, and you will come to the most amazing conclusions about things. So that's my advice. Hopefully people will take it. If not, you're free to do whatever you want to do. But just remember that I said it first. So you guys have a good rest of the weekend. Have a good week. Hopefully, positive things will happen. And I'm not right about this yet again. But I'll see you guys on the next episode, or I'll see you in the next lifetime. Good night.